Hello everybody, welcome back. I am the Sovereign and this is my court. You will not be seeing my hands because my nails are atrocious. I just took them off because you guys know that I was moving, but I am here and I am back. And surprise, everybody wake up. I know that, and I do have my Yeti microphone here. I'm testing it out. It's the first time using it on the channel. I've had it for a while, but we're gonna try and test it out so I don't have to project as much as I normally do. And you guys can hear more of my everyday voice instead of me theatrically projecting across the room anyways. I need all the Filipinos to wake up. Wake up right now. I know that you guys are going through it, as we all are, and I know that the Miss Universe Philippines competition has been postponed, but there is a bright side to everything. That means that I have a little bit more time to do some specific contestant spotlights that I haven't done before, and I made the decision that I wanted to kind of choose somebody who wasn't necessarily one of the top three, one of the females that we are always talking about all the time. I wanted to pull some of those girls that don't necessarily always get the spotlight. They're consistently overshadowed. They're not the A+ students, they're more of the B students that do really good, but they're just always caught in someone's shadow. I wanted to pull one of those girls. As you probably saw by the thumbnail to this video, we are here today to talk about Miss Kia Moreno. I will put up her full name. She is representing Camarines Sur. I went back through some of my videos to kind of refresh my memory on her, including the red carpet presentation, the runway challenge. If you haven't seen those videos, they are available here on my channel. Go check them out so you can kind of see my run through, my take on all of the girls. And I wanted to see what I said about her specifically, and yes, I'm talking about the video where I kept calling Parañaque Peranique. You guys have taught me a lot. I am here and I am learning. Okay, we're learning together. Thank you for everyone who's been teaching me. Yes, today we are here to talk about Camarines Sur. When I am able to gather a lot of background information on a particular contestant, it is great because I can look into them in more detail, which is why I encourage all contestants, regardless if you're from the US, the Philippines, India, put your information out there so that we can get to know you. I came across her information in great detail to the point where I felt it was a good idea and appropriate to be able to do an in-depth spotlight. So let's kind of go through her background. Let's really check up on this woman. She is a model and flight attendant. She is also a graduate of travel management. She is an educated woman, you guys. She joined Miss Republic Philippines. She was a semi-finalist, and she also joined Miss Earth Philippines in 2019, but she didn't place. Girl, I have a Miss Earth sash too. I was supposed to compete this year, but that's not gonna happen, obviously. Let's go through some of her advocacies. This is one thing I really love about this girl. Even though everybody is in quarantine, everybody is, stuck in their house and life has been changed due to the Communist Party pandemic, she is still doing her best to help her community. She's the brainchild for a project that aims to provide at least a decent amount of rice for those who are severely affected by this pandemic. I have been to her Instagram. If you go to her Instagram, you can see that she did post about it, and she's, congratulating everybody and encouraging everybody to continue to donate, continue to help put the rice out there into the community so that people do not go hungry. She also supports other causes that help medical frontliners during this problematic, troublesome time that we are going through. So she is still currently very active within her community, which is fantastic. So what I'm seeing from her internally, before we get to the external things, internally, she has the makings of a really good representative for the Philippines. I have seen her personality. She seems very relatable. She seems very happy. She seems very friendly. She seems very helpful. When I watched her Beyond the Coastlines video, which did make my list as, a part of my top 10, her coastline video also came off as very relatable, but she comes off as very well spoken. She comes off as if she knows how to speak, as though she knows what her own advocacies are, that she wants to share those things with people. She comes off as the type of person that you would have no problem having a conversation with. That is paramount to a Miss Universe, because if you can't attract people on a basic human level, how are you going to represent them and be a spokeswoman, be a role model? Like, how? She has the makings of a Miss Universe Philippines. So then we're sitting here and we're, getting in depth in her, and we're like, well, why? Why is she not top 2, top 3, top 5? Why is she not right up there with some of the other contestants, Manila, Cavite, Sorsogon? Why is she not up there? Now, as I have said, she's not far off. She's made a lot of my lists in the past. I mean, I feel like she's made all of them. So she might be on my top 5. I would have to go back and see, but I know for sure she's top 10. The other things that she does have going for her is her runway capability. I went back and rewatched her runway challenge, rewatched the things that I said about her. She did very well. She definitely has the presentation of a Miss Universe Philippines. She has that fierceness along with that kindness and that relatability. She knows how to flaunt a runway. So once again, it's just like, well, why is this girl not one of the super talked about front runners? One is probably the publicity. She's not getting as much backing as some of the other girls, but still, Filipinos know, you guys are the super fans. You guys know how to spot a winner. So why is she not getting called out as much? And the thing that I'm really landing on consistently from everything that I'm seeing from her is her styling. Filipinos, you guys will not forgive a misstyled queen, okay? That's one. Filipinos will not forgive you. They will forgive some things. It's kind of like the United States. We'll forgive some misstyling, but we won't forgive a queen that can't speak. You guys will not forgive a queen that's not styled well, that's not presented well, that is not presenting her full potential in terms of beauty. You're not going to forgive it. And I think that's where her misstep is. And she's not always off. Her problem is that she's inconsistent with her styling. And you can really see, I'm going to throw up some pictures of her headshots and pictures that she has taken. There are some pictures where she comes off as just average. She comes off as average. Her headshot in particular, I saw her headshot and I liked that it was unique. She had the hair flip going and everything, but it wasn't a stunning woman. It wasn't just like, you weren't floored by her at all. You barely were just like, barely. And this not to say that she's ugly, because I don't really believe that women can ever truly really be ugly. If someone is ever saying a woman is ugly, I take it as if she's not ugly. She's not styled properly. That's, a lot of women don't know how to style themselves. They don't know what looks good on them. They don't know what hairstyles, what colors, what outfits. It's not an ugly woman. It's a misstyled woman. And in this case, 50% of the time, something about her is misstyled. Going back to her headshot, I sat there, and you guys know that I will study these things. I laid in my bed overnight and stared at this woman's face. Yes, I did. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, what is it about her that makes this picture not stunning? So I'm looking at her picture, and like I said before, the uniqueness of the picture is great. When she had the hair flip, she was right there on the borderline trying to make my tops list for headshots. But I'm looking here and her face is fierce. So it's just like, what is it about this picture that was throwing me off? And it took me a little bit of going through several pictures of her. Here's another headshot, which I think clearly demonstrates the issues here. This picture clearly demonstrates what I'm seeing from her, because it's really hard to pinpoint sometimes what exactly is wrong with someone, why she's not placing. I think to most people it's pretty obvious that some of her styling is off, but they can't pinpoint why. It's her eyebrows. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. Her eyebrows are too strong for her face, and it's throwing off the rest of her facial features. Well, that's one of the features on her face that is messing it up, but it's definitely her eyebrows, because this is when styling really matters. Her eyebrows are too thick for her face. If you look at my face right now, you can see that I don't want to use my hands because my nails look atrocious. But if you look at my face right now, you can see that I have a ton of space between my eyebrows and my eyes. I have a lot of room to play with makeup. I have a lot of room to, have eyebrows. So if I wanted to have super thick eyebrows, I could get away with it, simply because, can I use this finger? Yes. Simply because the space that we have going on right here is so much. I have a lot of space there. But if you look at Kia's picture, you can see that her eyebrows and her eyes are very close together. They're very close set. But in a lot of her pictures, she overlines her eyebrows. She brings big eyebrows. She likes to have big eyebrows. But in a lot of her pictures, she comes off looking like an angry bird. She looks like Red, okay? And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's a styling issue because she doesn't have the facial structure to support those type of eyebrows. And it works sometimes. There's high fashion models who have these big eyebrows and close set eyes, and it gives them this very intense look, but it's not something that works well for her face. And I did double check this. I went through a few of her other pictures where she had more natural eyebrows, lighter eyebrows, and it complemented her face so much more. It really opened up her face. It really brightened her face. You don't want your eyebrows to be the center of attention. You want your eyes to be the center of attention. So I don't think her facial features supports her having the thick eyebrows that I think that she really likes to do, and she darkens them a lot. She makes them bigger. It's just too much for her face. So that's one thing that I would say if I ever saw her, if I ever was able to whisper something in her ear, be like, sis, lighten up on your eyebrows, because I have seen in other pictures where her eyebrows are more natural that her face looks a lot softer, it looks more inviting, it looks more open, it looks more bright. The other thing is her hair. Okay. Later on in time, I'm going to do a video about, videos about confidence and how to be confident with your type of beauty and how to style yourself in a way that complements your own type of beauty. We'll get into that later on in time in my channel, because I want to help the everyday person to also be confident within themselves. But this is a really good example of what I'm looking on her Instagram right now. She's a good example of some of the things that I'm going to talk about. I know that there is a specific look within the Philippines that Filipinos treasure and Filipinos think that are beautiful. Pia, love Pia. Pia is one of those queens that really represents what Filipinos think is beautiful. You guys love to have this gorgeous, like milky, like soft, supple, radiant skin. And then you have that contrast with like this jet black, dark hair. I love the look. I can't pull off the look myself. Obviously, there's certain types of beauty that just doesn't work for everybody, but I think it's gorgeous. It's just not gorgeous on me. Pia is a great example of what a lot of Filipinos think is just beautiful, just the peak of perfection. And it seems that Camarines Sur, she is trying to be what Filipinos want to see in a beauty queen. She's chasing the beauty. She's chasing what you guys want. She's doing what she thinks everybody else wants her to do. And that is one way to fail. That is one way to just never get a crown. Being Miss Universe, or being a representative to Miss Universe, you are trying to show other people how to be themselves unapologetically. Be yourself no matter what. And I think it's not completely her chasing the dream, but it's a little bit of her chasing what she thinks Filipinos want to see in her. Being that dark jet black hair parted down the middle, it seems like that's a look that trends in the Philippines and that a lot of Filipinas like to wear, which once again looks great, but it doesn't particularly look fabulous on her. So when I'm talking about her hair, the issues that I'm seeing is that once again, she's doing that down the center part with that jet black hair, which is popular and I think what she thinks people want to see her in, but it doesn't look good on her. It is, when I see pictures of her with her hair down, it doesn't present her in the best light. It doesn't make her seem beautiful. It's not adding anything to her. If anything, I think it is covering her true beauty. And I'm going to prove it, because you guys know I will. Look at this picture of her hair parted down the middle, to the sides and everything. She's got this great smile, but it almost looks like a wig. It almost looks fake. It doesn't suit her in this picture. And there's other pictures that are similar to this. But when I go and find her in other pictures with other styles, this photo in particular had me floored. When I was doing my research on her, I pulled up this picture and I'm just like, oh my God, that's a Miss Philippines. That's a Miss Philippines. Why is this girl not styled like this all the time? All the time. Every day of why? Stunning. This photo is stunning. This photo is fierce. The sleeked back hair, that comes off as fierce. Her face comes off as fierce. And I don't think there's any girls, besides some of the girls that have short hair, I don't think there's any girls rocking like a signature look. Like, this should be her signature look. She looks amazing with her hair sleeked back. Never put hair in this girl's face. Her face is there if you just don't cover it up with hair. On top of the fact that she looks amazing in purple, which is not necessarily a very popular color in pageant world, but she looks amazing in it. This is really great styling. Her eyebrows are a little bit overshaded, but this is how she should look all the time. And this is what I'm saying when I'm like, I know I have to do videos on this in the future. I know I have to talk about this, and we're going to talk about how to be confident with yourself and how to style yourself based on your own beauty and not, you know, other people's perception of beauty. This is why it is so important to be unapologetically yourself, because if you chase the beauty standards of someone else, they're not necessarily going to look good on you. They're not going to look the best on you. I don't look the best with black hair. Light brown hair worked great for me. Probably wouldn't work for her, but this is what I'm talking about. So we can use some of the other queens as examples, because I know that Pia is kind of the pinnacle of what a lot of Filipinos think is really beautiful. She has that really dark jet black hair. She's got that gorgeous like moonlit milky skin. She's, you know, Pia looks great. But another queen that everyone loves is Katriona, and Katriona doesn't necessarily look like the typical Filipina. She's got more of an olive skin tone. She's got brown hair, and guess what? She still won Miss Universe. That's why it is important to always be yourself. And oh God, you guys, you know, I'm gonna be honest. This is why me watching copycats of Katriona just nearly just made me gag, because when you copy someone, like actually copy them, the dress, the walk, the everything, the best you're ever going to be is a really good replica. The best you're ever gonna be, someone's gonna say, oh my gosh, you look just like Katriona. Like when I saw the girls trying to copy Katriona with the exact same dress and walk as Katriona, I'm like, sis, why? Just why? Don't do that, because the best you're ever gonna be is a really good replica. The best you're ever gonna be is a really good mimic of an original. Every time someone looks at you, they're gonna go, oh my gosh, you look almost exactly like Katriona. You're only ever gonna be second place. And one thing Miss Universe isn't is second place. Other things with her styling and kind of what I'm seeing with her, she's very much trying to chase what she thinks Filipinos want from her, what Filipinos think is beautiful, is that I've seen pictures of her with light brown hair. And every picture that I've seen with her with light brown hair looks, well, it's not light brown, it's more of a medium brown. All the pictures that I'm seeing of her with brown hair typically look better than the pictures that I'm seeing of her with black hair. It really brightens her up. It really makes her more soft, more gentle. You know, it's not as harsh. If you see some of the pictures with her black hair and she's got those black eyebrows, it comes off as very harsh. It's not as inviting, which is why I'm saying it's comes off as much more natural and much more her. So for her, the inconsistencies in styling is really going to be an issue with her. I highly doubt she's going to change her hair color, but you know, if she's going to keep the jet black hair, she definitely needs to keep it off of her face, because her face is amazing when she keeps it off of it. Like that slick back look needs to be her signature style. Okay, somebody let her know, because that is killer. But the inconsistencies is something that Filipinos are not going to forgive, and it's something that's not going to survive in Miss Universe. And I know that there was a video that I was just like, oh my gosh, Filipino fans are just ruthless, which you guys are. I stand by that. But most of the time it is justified. Like there's 90% of the time it's justified. 10% of the time I'm like, okay, you guys need to calm down. But most of the time it's to the benefit of the contestants that you guys present, because let's be honest, okay? Diamonds are only created under pressure. And the Philippines has a lot of diamonds, so that pressure has definitely paid off. Philippines is a powerhouse for a reason, and the reason is these girls know that they have to meet the expectation of Philippine fans and Filipino judges. They know the type of pressure they're under, so they strive to do better. Honestly, I'm going to start applying more pressure to the women in the United States and Europe, because they are slacking, and I feel like it's because they don't feel the pressure. But honestly, everything else is there. She's got the internal beauty. She's got the advocacy. She's got the speaking ability. She definitely needs to be, did we speak on this? I'm gonna get in this. There may be a tiny relatability issue, and I said this with a lot of girls during their coastline videos, that some of their coastline videos seem too rehearsed, too practiced, too forced. It should have seemed more natural. It should have seemed more from the heart. And this is another point that kind of proves what I was saying about her, was the fact that she's trying to please Filipino fans too much, to the point where it's not herself. She's not being herself. She's trying to give you guys the look that she thinks that you want. She's trying to give you, you know, the things that she thinks that you want. You can even see this during her runway challenge. Though she did very, very well, you can kind of see that she's trying. You can kind of see that she's giving it her all. And because we can see that, it's not coming off as natural. It's not entirely authentic. If you go and watch other performances such as Cavite and Sorsogon, they're trying, but it seems more natural. It seems more them. Meanwhile, Camarines Sur seems like she's just trying too hard. She seems like she's trying too hard with her look. She seems like she's trying too hard sometimes with her presentation. And I get that she's under pressure, but I'm just like, sis, calm down, because you don't want to get away from who you are. because when you do that, you lose the relatability, and you can't win without the relatability. So once again, this is what proves my point of what I'm saying, and from what Miss Universe is trying to prove, to be unapologetically yourself. Don't try so hard to please other people. Everybody's not going to be happy with you. Everybody's not going to be happy with your look or your performance. That's fine, but be yourself. Hopefully she can get more into being herself, because she looks amazing when she is that way. And I'm not saying that she doesn't look amazing now, because she does look amazing now, but we want that styling to be more consistent, and we want her performances to be more natural. We want it to be more her. Yes, give us the fierceness. Yes, give us the face, but be yourself as well. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Camarines Sur. Is she one of your faves? Be honest. What do you think she can improve? Anything that I didn't say that you think she can improve on to maybe help herself move up the ranks of competitors? We are still working on getting in a competition for Miss Philippines that is still coming, so she still has time to do some work. So if you guys have any ideas, leave them down below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if you are not a member of my court, consider hitting the subscribe button so you can come back and have fun with us again, talk about more pageant stuff or anything else in the world that you would like to talk about. I think I'm gonna live stream today, so hopefully you guys see the live stream. If not, it'll be uploaded later. I love you, I'll miss you, and you know I will be back in a future video.